It is time for a chat with Pat.
Oh, yeah. And today we have Michael Pakaluk with us again. Oh, my gosh, he's amazing. Aristotle Scholar Ordinarius of the Pontifical Academy of St. Thomas Aquinas, Professor of Political Economy in the Bush School of Business at Catholic University of America. His wife, Catherine, also teaches there. They have a lot of kids, which is wonderful. I would highly recommend his book, The Shock of Holiness. Love that book. And now he's got a new one, The Company We Keep, which is available from Scepter Press. So I'm going to get my hands on that and hopefully get him on the show about that one. Good morning, Michael. How you doing?
Hey, Pat. I have to record that introduction and play it every now and again. It does a tremendous boost for my ego.
Well, you are one of my favorites, just one of my favorites. And this, I mean, I know anything that I pull up that has your name on it, I will love. I have not read anything from you that I have not and I can go back to it and read it again and again and get more from it every time. But
the problem is I have to keep doing that, though. That's the problem.
That's true. Well, this article in the Catholic Thing, Foolproof against Nothingness. I loved it, Michael. And as it starts out, and you're talking about being at a little church on vacation where the recessional song is our God, our help in ages past, and they sing all 9 verses. That alone made me go, wow. Like how many people were halfway into the parking lot before they got
I know.
That was amazing.
What in the world?
I know.
These people are on vacation. They want to go on a hike or something like that.
Yeah, and they're doing all 9 verses of the song. But my question is then, how? Because obviously it is one of these last verses of this song that brought about this article. So explain that to us.
Well, the time like an ever-flowing stream bears all its sons away. That's one of the lines. They fly forgotten as a dream dies at the break of day. And that's the one that we sing. Mm-hmm. And they get even more and more somber. The other verses, it's like we pass through this life and nothing remains, and we're forgotten. And so I thought, that's very interesting. Does Christianity give us a way of? I mean, that's from God's point of view. Yeah, that's true. I mean, as I point out in the article, how many of us are remembered by our great-great-grandchildren? I mean, We pray for our grandparents, maybe great-grandparents, maybe. But then we're completely forgotten, and so that's the human condition from a natural point of view. And we know we're eternal, right? But my question is, how much of the concrete reality of day-to-day life is saved? Because we look at things in a very vague way. I mean, when you die and you're taken by your guardian, as in Newman's Dream of Gerontius, so you're taken by your guardian angel to the judgment. Is it like you've had a stroke and you just kind of forgot everything that just immediately preceded, or?
Yeah.
I mean, are you bringing with you your life in maybe even more intensity than you yourself can imagine it? And, if God counts the hairs on our head and, sparrow doesn't fall without his knowledge. God's knowledge, of course, is necessary for anything to exist. So he has to see everything down to the nanogram, the nano moment, with incredible clarity, because it wouldn't exist otherwise.
Exactly. And I think you point out so well, because even atheists, you mentioned Bertrand Russell, that even he tries to kind of say, well, when bad things happen, don't worry about it, because, all of this isn't going to matter in 100 years anyway.
That's right.
But an atheist says that, but we are different in this.
Yes.
And you point that out because you say there is an important if that you write about. So what is that important if that keeps us from nihilism?
Well, remind me what the exact if was in the column.
Okay, if we throw ourselves upon God.
Okay. So how relevant to your show, which is called the morning offering.
Exactly.
So an interesting question is, what is a morning offering? So a lot of people think of it as like contemplation, and, let people meditate. A lot of high-powered CEOs are meditating every morning, right? Mm-hmm. So they think of it as a way of kind of collecting yourself and maybe having the right intention in what you're doing during the day. But for a Christian, it's something a lot more than that. We all have priestly souls. So it's the opportunity to take everything that we do and as you say, offer it up with a priestly soul towards God.
Right.
And so then my suggestion in the piece is, and saints have corroborated this. I mentioned a couple of saints like Saint John Vianney who writes this, that if you do this, you actually are saving this. There's a way in which it counts. It's accounted for if you offer something up. And obviously, we talked about the detail with which God sees everything.
Right.
I mean, even what I said in the last 30 seconds, I couldn't possibly think of every syllable and every sound and so on that I said and everything that was meant or implied, but God can. But in a virtual way, if we, as in a morning offering, I offer up all of my thoughts, words, and deeds in union with, whatever the morning offering is saying, then virtually that all gets included and it's offered up. And I think it's one of these things that we don't like it. We don't like the contingency of faith. But if you like, lots of things won't be given to us unless we pray. Mm-hmm. I think that this effect, this promise of Christianity, depends upon our exercising it, our saying the morning offering or something like that.
And you make mention that the saints kind of say it is the morning offering and the Mass, right? That bring us to be able to continue this goodness that we talk about. And can you tell me a little bit? Because you mentioned someone I've never heard of. Is it Mechtilde? Mechtilde?
Yeah, Saint. I think that's how you pronounce it, Mechtilde.
Okay.
Yes. So she's a very, very important visionary. So remind me how I quoted her in connection with that column, though.
Yeah, you quoted her. You were talking about the key lines of her prayer. "O beloved of my soul, I offer thee my heart as a flowering rose." So you gave most of her morning offering prayer. Yeah. Which is
just
beautiful.
She had lots of visions of, and apparently this morning offering was dictated to her, so to speak, by Jesus, and Jesus commends her on it, and it's the most beautiful morning offering I know. I think I gave a link to it in the column.
Yeah, and I love that you say at the end then, after Jesus gave her this prayer, he added, and this touched my heart, "Repeat this word at each of thy actions, when thou beginnest them, and have confidence in God that the work which thou art then doing can never perish."
Right.
Wow.
Isn't that fantastic?
It is, because there is something, I think we struggle with this, Michael, because we don't want to say we get to heaven by our own merit. So sometimes we say, well, my good works, that's just, I just give them to God for glory. But you give us a real in-depth look here. Can you give us one last thing about how what you're telling us here is different than I'm doing all these good works to get to heaven?
Well, the ability to merit is not merited. We're given that life of grace as a free gift. But once we're given that and we're assimilated to the Son, then our deeds can merit, just as the Son deeds merit.
Oh, I love it.
That's Catholic teaching.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, Michael, and have a great week ahead, okay?
Thanks so much.